Hey, Tom, I got it for us.
We live, baby.
There we go. All right.
I stole TJ's little thing over here.
He's not here this week. I can't keep my co-hosts on. Last week we didn't have TJ, then we didn't have you for the show. Now we don't have TJ again for another live stream. I don't know what's going on here in 2024, viewers.
We're all playing musical chairs. I was out for the podcast this week, but we're substituting TJ today.
I think we got a good fill-in.
For a great guest over here. Guys and everybody, welcome to the stream. It's Freedom 35ers. We're here for a special Saturday live stream with Ryan, the founder of Goofy Gophers Mining Club. Ryan, welcome on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for getting up so early on a Saturday of all days.
Oh, no problem, man. Been a sick few days over here for me, so I've been up a little early. So glad to get a chance to catch up with everybody recovering. So I'm excited to actually get a chance to talk about this because this is something that kind of like, I don't know, slid under the radar a little bit for me. But I know we've been following you guys for a while throughout the channel. So it's good to get a chance to talk to you before next week's Mint. I guess a quick little intro for everybody joining us over here. Ryan, can you give a quick little backstory on who you are for Goofy Gophers and what you do?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm the founder of Goofy Gophers NFT. We're an NFT project. We started in October 2022, centered around the idea of giving anyone easy, convenient, and fun access to crypto mining.
Awesome. And
it's been that long. I gotta just say that blows my mind that 2022. Are you sure about that? Are you positive on that? That's
yeah,
crazy.
because there was a long time between the free and the main sale. It was like the end of 2022.
Wow, that's awesome.
Main sale in April.
I remember that. It wasn't back in, and you guys minted what, roughly about 1,000 Gophers ahead of time in that 22 window before you guys minted out the remaining like 7,888.
Yeah, so we went to CNFT Con in October 2022, and we were kind of far along then. So I was trying to make connections with projects like Dirt Birds, and they advised, and Ghost Chain as well, to do a pre-sale because we one of the first like real world utility NFTs. No one knew who we were, so we wanted to prove ourselves a bit. So we released the first 1,000 early, got Doge and Litecoin miners, 5 of them online within a few weeks, and then we really ramped up marketing from there.
Dude, it's crazy how quick things fly inside this space. It only feels like yesterday we were getting a chance to talk to you before the Mint, and now here we are a year later, getting a chance to do it again. So happy to have you back on the show, man, and I'm excited to jump into this because you guys have done something extremely well inside the space, kind of carved your own niche with crypto mining inside of Cardano, and so much so that you guys have turned it into a business model that other projects have been able to utilize. A very popular one is Dirt Birds with their Outposts, and others with House of Titans, and then a few other projects that have been adding on to that Kingdom Connect. I wanted to kind of give a quick little backstory leading up into the Mint that we're going to be talking about here, which is Tribes, happening on the 26th. I'm going to bring a little share screen up because you guys have some awesome graphics, and I think that's one thing not to be noted is how cool your artist is and the stuff that they draw over here. But wanted to kind of highlight this over here. So we've got 3 different things we're looking at here. Where it all started at was the Kingdom of Goof over here, which I love how you've now broken this out into these 3 different tiers here, which Tribes we're going to talk about here, and then eventually Kingdom Trust. So there's kind of a small, a large exposure, and then like a kind of business level exposure into crypto mining through NFTs. Can you kind of give us a quick little walkthrough on what you guys have built with the initial Goofy Gophers, the Kingdom of Goof, and what it's allowed you guys to learn about crypto mining and NFTs?
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that you like our 3 different differentiated products there, because I don't know, we launched Kingdom Trust, which is a 10k minimum. We had so many people that were very nearly there but weren't quite there, so they wanted more of a middle product. And equally with the Kingdom of Goof, a lot of people bought quite a lot, which means there's appetite for a larger exposure to mining, so that's why we're doing this middle product. And I think it's quite good. It's always good to have the rule of 3. But yeah, so we're trying to build a whole mining ecosystem around these products. The core vision was always crypto mining is very, very difficult now. It used to be you could mine at home with a gaming PC very profitably. And that's great. It's very decentralized. You can do it anywhere. Now, in some countries, it's outright banned, so you can't do it. In some countries, you can't do it because it's not profitable. Even if I had the latest Bitcoin miner in England, it wouldn't be profitable because our electricity is over 10 times what it is in America.
Yeah.
And then even if you are in a good location like the US, you have cheap electric, you have to manage the cooling, you have to source the machines from Bitmain in China. And you know, these machines can be 20K in a bull run. So the core idea was to build an NFT community centered around that idea of getting mining back into the hands of everyone, do a big scale order, and then fractionalize that down with NFTs. So that's what Kingdom of Goof was. That was our first time doing it. It was also highly gamified. So we had royals, we had merchants that all do different things. And we were also very diversified. So you can see that graphic there. The orange is Bitcoin, purple Cardano, Litecoin, Doge, Dash, and Nervos. So it's a really good diversified approach to mining.
Yeah,
I would say we've learned a lot over a year now of doing this about community management. We both studied robotics, me and the community manager. So our electronic knowledge was quite good, but it's got to a whole nother level with mining. It's like a whole different beast with how the market works, how new machines coming out impacts your profitability, how the halving affects things, how the general markets work. Because if Bitcoin goes up 30% in a day, which it sometimes does, your miners are now much more valuable, and your profit, everything you've been mining, is that much more valuable. So there's a lot of different aspects to mining that I think now we've got quite a lot of experience in.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a constant flow. Like to even just keep up is a daily, you know, even just on NFTs and crypto in general in your own wallet to keep up on it. So let alone when you have multiple different types of miners mining multiple different types of coin to kind of keep up with where things are at, I can imagine is a challenge. I just love seeing this before we get too deep into it, because I mean, the idea you had, like you said, the idea originally just getting kind of the share of it back into the hands of everyone and building, you know, some of that initial money in the beginning so that you can purchase and move forward and get the land even and make sure you're set up with the electricity and the cooling on that land. And then giving that share back to the people that kind of helped and invested. So we're all going to make it together. We're all going to win. But then you've continued to develop. You could have just kind of been like, all right, guys, there you go. Miners are online. You'll get your cut. That's the end of it. But you guys have continued to do, like, as we're seeing here, what we're going to get into, continue to create and develop and haven't just kind of sat back and been like, yeah, I mean, the miners do the work for us, so we're done now, right? Like, no, you guys continue to engage and keep it going. And we love to see that, because this is a project that since the beginning has, especially TJ and Tommy originally on, gets us really excited. And now we've seen even the impact it's had. I know we're not going to get deep into them, but just to have to mention them, you know, we talked about them so much, was the Dirt Birds. And so seeing how the impact it's just had on our Cardano community is amazing, to where other people can't even ignore it either. They're like, oh shit, damn, that was a smart idea. Can we get in a little bit on that? Like they did a really good job here. So it's awesome to see that, to not only inspire and get holders excited, but also community, you know, project leaders and things like that is awesome. It's amazing. It's hard to do. That's something that is very rare.
Thank you very much for the kind words. Yeah, it has been a long road from a technical perspective. We released an app so everyone can track what we're doing, borrow. But there's also things that aren't really talked about, like our legal infrastructure. There's so much at play here. We had to get really good terms and conditions, both for holder distributions and Kingdom Trust. We have good corporate structures in Cyprus and Dubai. And that stuff took like hundreds of calls with different lawyers to get sorted. So yeah, there's just a lot of different things at play. And then once you have that legal setup, we now have a corporate bank. We can exchange crypto at scale, which when you're mining 6 different coins, some of them very small, can be a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think my other favorite part about this too is the fact that you guys, the idea, the vision that you guys had in the beginning, not only has come to fruition, but it's, you know, exceeded expectations and grown. One of my favorite things too, which I wanted to give a little showcase on before we dive into the tribe section of this, is that your Kingdom Connect, this dashboard, I don't know why my screen just went down right here. I'm going to share this right here. But the Kingdom Connect dashboard that was being built in the background is finally been live here for the last few months, and it kind of gives you a really detailed breakdown. And not only does it give you a detailed breakdown, it kind of gives a full like interface of everything that you guys have been doing over the last few months, and just the work that's being put in behind the scenes. if anybody wants a snapshot of anything that's going on inside the system, you can go ahead and look into this Kingdom Connect, and it gives a very detailed overview. Can you kind of give a little, I mean, how was this? I know you guys talked about this way back when, but how was this actually coming, when this came online? How big was that for you guys? How excited were you to get this going?
Very excited. It was something we wanted to do. So I mentioned our pre-sale back in 2022. As soon as those first 5 miners came online, we built an API that basically collected all of the coins we're mining each day, and then it would just say in Discord, oh, you mined 0.1 Litecoin today. We called it the Squire because obviously it's Kingdom themed. So this dashboard was basically built around that API. Obviously, it's different for every coin we're mining. So there's quite a lot of data we had to sort of commingle and make cohesive. But once we had that, it was primarily web design, which the Flipper team were amazing at, making it so visual, make everything pop, all the charts. But yeah, it's that core data from the API. Then we have the expenses there as well. So just so if you're a holder, you can come here, you can really see everything that's going on, what we're mining, what if we've sold coins, what was it for, that expenses tab, and just different views on the data.
I love that. I love that was one big thing we talked about when we first had you on, was the transparency of you guys. A lot of people in this, I mean, the blockchain obviously is transparent in its own way. But without having to be a detective on different wallets, you guys have put everything out there, including your invoices and everything that you guys are spending your money on, so people know where their dollars and cents are going to. And I love that now it's in this nice, pretty form that somebody can go in and check on. And a lot of this stuff is still above my head, reading through some of it. But it's nice that it's there, that you guys are transparent, and it shows the commitment to you guys of everything, all the work that you put in. I definitely think this is a big tool for others who are interested. I mean, if you are an experienced crypto miner too, this is a good way to kind of put this up against it and say, okay, you know what, I've been doing my stuff. Does this make sense for me to go ahead and maybe I want to jump in? It's a great tool for everybody, both novice and up to, pro. And I love that about you guys. I wanted to touch base too. I know some people are like, we're coming up here before this Tribes Mint, and we'll go ahead and address this right now. People for the last few months have been able to, since November-ish, somewhere in November, you were able to first start burrowing?
November 1st, yeah.
Right. So from November 1st, and we're coming up here. When's the end period here for this first one?
The first one will be the end of this month.
Okay, so we're coming up right to the end over here. So if you guys are burrowing a Gopher right now, that's when the first, I know a big milestone for people who have been with you guys for a while is the first payouts closing, right? With that first payout coming up, I wanted to address this because I've seen some talk over on the timeline, and I think I want to give you a fair opportunity to say, well, why a new mint now, and why Tribes? Because I know we're going to get into that. It ties into a bigger theme of everything that you guys are doing.
Yeah, definitely. So I just say it's important to realize, although we've just announced Tribes a couple of weeks ago and given all the information, the white paper, the Git book, the new website, all of that, we've been working on Tribes for 6 months. Yeah. So some of my older interviews, I kind of teased it, but it was a very slow process because it's 400 one-of-ones. So there's no generation or anything. It's all completely hand-drawn. And we also wanted to take that time, that 6 months, to really make it deep. So that is why the theming is so unique. Everything's very cohesive to the kingdom. There's, I think, 10 pages of lore, and it all ties together quite well. So it's something we've been thinking about for a long time. So when we announced it, we didn't really put that much thought into how close it was to the payouts, because that's like kind of a totally different thing. But in hindsight, yeah, I wish that we released it a little bit earlier, at least some teasers. Yeah. The reason we've done it before the payout is because we have our second batch of Kingdom Trust coming up. So that's scheduled for sort of mid to late February. That second batch is going to be as big or bigger than our first batch. So that's $1 million order. So what we need to do is mint ASAP, really. So we have the best chance of becoming part of that order. Then, instead of us just buying Tribes miners, we're buying Tribes miners, Kingdom Trust miners, and compounding for both. A huge order, so we can get better miners, hopefully hydros, which are like the top line, and a massive quantity to bring the prices down. And also getting the tribe mint ready is a huge amount of work. So is the payouts. So it makes sense from a management perspective to get the tribe mint at least open. Even if people wait till the payout, it's better for us to open it, leave it open, and then focus fully on payouts, get everything well tested, and then everything's on time, and hopefully everyone's happy. Because otherwise, if we were to delay the tribes mint, we would do the payout, that'd be fine. But then for us to get the tribes mint ready, it might be like first week of March, something like that, in which case we missed the boat.
Yeah. No, and I agree. I think it needs to have like the context, right? And everybody, you know, sees something on the timeline and maybe overreacts is usually the case with it. But no, it makes perfect sense, because the whole point of this, and we've seen it from the very first sale up until this one, especially with the Kingdom Trust, is that the more that you buy in bulk, the better discount and better, you know, rate that you guys get. So it makes sense that you guys are trying to load in. And I like the distinction, like we talked about up here earlier, where you have the 3 different tiers for everybody, right? You have the entry level, which is the Goofy Gophers Mining Club, what we've known. And now the tribes, which is kind of like the large tier, but not the whole business expense one. And then, of course, if you're a business, 10K minimum over here, you can kind of scale that customizable with you guys, which we've seen done through other projects. So I think context is very important with that. So I appreciate you guys kind of clarifying that.
Definitely. Just to add to that as well, I just want to make it clear, tribes in no way waters down the original project. It only adds to it. They're completely different miners, and 20% of the net mined goes back to GGMC, the kingdom, and as they also get a portion from the B2B stuff. So every new product that we do feeds back into those original Gophers. So whether or not you mint tribes, you'll get a benefit from us minting.
I love that too. I think the fact that it helps benefit the original collection over there. I think especially through the treasury, right, which are the wizard holders. If I'm sorry, I know they get a bonus to that. And same thing with the Kingdom Connect. I think you guys have done so well with that. I know early on, a lot of people were very excited about miners, right? Everybody was focusing on them. And then we started seeing some of the stuff that Treasury was coming up with Kingdom Connect, and now this, and who knows what else you guys have in the works. But you guys have been super creative and with ways to go ahead and expand this. So yes, this will get more rewards to holders faster if they mint this collection. But it's important to note that they do go back and benefit the original holders as well as you guys and the team. So I think that's an important thing to highlight. But yeah, going back into this here, we have the Tribes Mint that's coming up here, which is on January 26th, 6 p.m. UTC. I see 400 NFTs, then these tribal Gophers, and they say 1-to-1 collection. Are all these Gophers 1-to-1s?
Every single one is hand drawn, yes.
Awesome. That's crazy to see. So was this done also by the same artist that did the original collection?
Yes, Gustavo. He's so talented. I mean, over our time doing this, we've talked to 50 or more pixel artists. None are anywhere near what he is. He's just so fast with us, so happy to make changes. He does really, really good perspective, and he just brings our vision to life. So yeah, I couldn't ask for a better artist. Yeah,
I love it, man. Your guys' look is so unique. And the fact that you had this fun theme with them right now too. I did get a chance, like I said, I was up early today and read through the entire lore on there. So you guys have a really cool backstory between the 4 different tribes and how they kind of connect with the Kingdom of Goof over there. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and kind of bring this up. So tribes are minting next week. For what price? There's 400 of these. They're all 1-of-1s. What is the pricing model on this?
Yeah, so there's only 400, and it's a much more significant exposure to mining. So they're $1,500 in ADA, whatever that is on the day.
Okay. All right. So set USD value, $1,500, no matter whatever it is at that time of the snapshot, that will be the ADA price.
Yes. So at current prices, that's like nearly a third of a miner. So it is quite a lot of exposure.
Nice. Yeah. And understandably so. So I think, a higher price tag, but there's some benefits for purchasing one of these versus the original collection. Like you said, you get a larger exposure to the mining rewards. Can we kind of talk about some of the stuff that is different compared to the original collection when you mint one of these? Yes, they have a higher price tag, but maybe why? And maybe do you get accelerated progress as far as the rewards go?
Yeah, so there's a few things. So starting with just looking at the mining, if you're to buy a Gopher right now on secondary, obviously that's on secondary, it's not a first-hand sale. So some of that is the profit of the current holder. So that's not all going on hash rate. Let's say it's $200, that's not all right on hash rate. If you mint a new tribe, that's going to us, which means 90% is going on mining activities. So it's a much more direct entry. Secondly, again, we have the scale with Kingdom Trust Batch 2, which we've never had before. It's our biggest ever miner order, so the hash rate is going to be even greater per dollar than it was now, just because of that scale. And then we're also getting different types of miners. So the new Bitcoin miner comes out in February. It's being rolled out, the S21. It's 40% more efficient than the previous model. So we'll be getting those just before the halving as well. So mining's in a very interesting position at the moment. We have the halving coming up, which is the most significant halving ever. We have the new Bitcoin miners coming out. There's just so many factors at play that this might be one of the really good points to enter. And prices are still good. I know Bitcoin was pumping a bit, but it's come down a bit. And yeah, prices are still really good. It hasn't halved yet. So we'll get some of that mining at a massive output of that hash rate before and after the halving. So it's really, really good for the long term. That's
awesome. One of the things I remember from that main sale there was how you guys, I want to say, I mean, crypto was what, maybe, I think ADA was, I don't know, that's actually pretty close in price at this time last year. When you guys minted, it was roughly right around like that 50 something cents time frame, and then obviously it dropped over the summer. So I know obviously as prices go down, you know, when you do these bulk orders, you know, that's the best time to buy. And understanding, like you just mentioned, all the factors that go into place before all the halving and everything, that's the push to get these ordered now. Is this something where you guys have kind of broken out your math to the point where it's like, okay, these percentages and things like this have kind of like, you've kind of calculated what that dollar value may be, why that entry price is the way it is? Or was there just a certain goal you guys needed to raise and figured, okay, $1,500 with 400 of these is a fair price? I mean, what was the thought process with the pricing?
Yeah, it's because of the quantity. It's extremely limited that there's only 400. And we just kind of gauged it. As I said, Kingdom Trust, the minimum was 10K. We had a lot of people that were very close, but then dropped out last minute because it was just a bit too much. And then equally, not that many people have one Gopher. A lot of people have quite a few. So there is demand for a more significant exposure, especially with the halving coming up and the new Bitcoin miners. It's just best to try and get as much scale as we can. So we thought it was quite a good price point. And then as well, we're much more efficient now, and we've learned a lot from GGMC. So a lot of this tech is built. Once the miners go online, borrowing will already be able to start. Like, it's there, we just add it for tribes. The compound period for GGMC was 6 months because it was, you know, right in the middle of a bear market. It feels less like that now. So for the first 3 months, the net rewards go on more miners. And then we'll be moving to what GGMC has right now, which is some to holders, some to the GGMC treasury, and some to team. And as you can see there, it's 60%, which is the highest from any mining NFT we've seen on any chain.
Nice. Is the so the mining and the compounding thing, right? So once you guys purchase your miners and everything goes online, 3 months there, you guys reinvest that. I think 70% of it is what it is, and then 30% is saved back for energy costs for the mint funds. And then once and then once you guys do that, is it another 3 months from there before you see the first reward, or do you see the first rewards 3 months in?
Yeah, so those first 3 months, we're buying miners with the rewards every single month. Then on that fourth month, that's when holder rewards start accumulating. Okay.
All right. So it'll be, if just so people were like, okay, if I buy into this, it'd be about 6 months before you see the first payout.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That makes sense, because which is shorter though than what the original one was, because last year you guys minted in roughly March, the final part of the collection, and now here we are about to get the first one set up. So it's a little bit, like you said, faster for this tribesman.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Definitely,
And
yeah,
then
man.
on top of that, though, I know you guys have really you leaned into this. I cannot remember. I know you guys mentioned CIP68 being a big thing here, with especially with stuff that are in the gaming world where things can level up and change. We've seen that with Outpost, many other different projects. Were the original Gophers CIP68?
I don't think it was out yet at the time, so they weren't.
Right. So these ones will be. Does that mean that there's potential for these things to change metadata at all? Just throwing that out there.
It just gives us flexibility if we want to do anything in the future, but nothing's planned. It's basically the best standard.
I was throwing a little one in there for you just to keep you on your toes a little bit. But no, I wanted to talk a little bit about the actual gamification of this, right? We talked about there's 4 different tribes over here and a little bit of the lore. With these, you've got the Pyros, Botanists, the Trench tribe, and the Deep Dark tribe. And the interesting thing that I've seen about these is that each of these have these different boons, where the Dark tribe has Bitcoin, Trench has Cardano, Litecoin for the Botanist, and Dogecoin for the Pyro. Can you lean into a little bit about why splitting them into 4 different factions or tribes, and maybe just a little bit of backstory, just quick little overview?
Yeah, definitely. So there's 400 tribal Gophers. They're split into 4 tribes of 100 each. So in the lore, it's essentially this mysterious island that is found far off Goof Kingdom. A bottle washes up on the shores. A warrior gets it, brings it to Aldricus. They hatch this plan to go on a ship and sail over there. It's war-torn. It's all mysterious and magical. The Kingdom Gophers sort out what's going on there, and the tribes actually, some of them settle back in the kingdom. It's quite a fun story. But yeah, so there's 4 tribes. There's the Botanists, who you can see there. So they're all about nature. They worship the sun's power to give life and to grow. Conversely, the Pyro, this is a volcanic tribe. They also worship the sun, but its destructive power. We then have the Deep Dark, that are just deep underground. They've never seen the light. They're never coming up. And they basically just avoid everyone. They also have a religion. And then we have the Trench tribe. They're a water tribe that support the Botanists in this war. They give them water for all their crops, and the Botanist gives them herbs so that they can have easier underwater life. So yeah, that's a bit of the lore. And the gamification is in every tribe. There's different ranks. So there's a chief, which is the rarest. They get 6 times the base rewards. There's also shaman. They get 2 times. Elders get 2 times. And then normal tribe folk just get the standard. And they get different amounts of votes as well. And the shaman has something extra, a hidden power that we're not going to reveal yet.
Okay. So it wouldn't be Goofy Gophers without a little bit of a gamification in it, right?
Exactly.
I love that, though. It gives people a choice too, a little bit. So
Deep Dark, like they stay underground, don't have to deal with anyone. That sounds great.
Yeah.
That one. So I love that you get to kind of get connected, feel that pull towards like, ooh, that's interesting. That one got me. I actually like that one a lot, because sometimes when that's lacking in a project, you just never really even get deeper into it beyond that. That does play a part in it, unfortunately. Sometimes, as good as some projects are, we see them not be as successful as I think they can be, just because they don't have the other side down as well, like you do here.
Well,
yeah.
It keeps it too from being boring of like, okay, I've got all these 400 of the same Gophers. What's the difference? Well, mine looks cooler than yours. Okay, well, no, I got a thief over here where I can go ahead and steal potential payouts, or no, I've got a merchant over here where all these secondary sales that have been lighting up, I'm going to get a cut from this. Like, you guys have a fun gamification about it, and it makes people choose like, hey, do I want to stack up? You can kind of like have a little strategy too, outside of just, hey, I'm going to buy these and hold on to them, which I love. And I love that you're bringing that into this new collection here too, in a different way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, since they're all 1-of-1s, we put a lot of thought into how every single one looks, and we want to make the holder have a connection with the NFT. And I think we did that quite well with Goof Kingdom. They all have a name, they all have a location. Yeah. We put a lot of data in there, and that's even more true for tribes. You have the tribe, you have the religion, you have the location, they all have a name. And then I don't know if you guys have seen, but we have very light AI in Kingdom Connect, so that now whenever anyone interacts with GGMC in any way, so let's say you buy one on secondary, any event like that, someone loses Kingdom reputation and someone gains it. So we put all of the lore and some different things into an AI bot, and it generates a story. So let's say you buy a merchant on secondary, a high value merchant, it will be like significant reputation gained. This is Alfonso, the trader from East Goof. He launched a new shipping company, and everyone in the kingdom is excited.
I love that. I remember seeing that with like was the overseer part of like the AI built in, or was that just preset stuff over in the Discord?
Oh no, that's just a Discord bot.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that, seeing things like that where we talk about like Juniper departing and things like that. I wanted to dial back. Shout out to everybody in chat. I know we've been kind of dialing straight through this. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them for Ryan over in the comments, and we'll get to them when we can. Casey said he wanted to, or he or she said they wanted to ask to clarify royalty info for tribes. The language is vague on whether how much will be distributed to merchants. Royals do these operate in a similar way where royalties is the chief akin to a royal over here, or I guess a one of one type king in this case, since there's only one of them?
Yes, the chief. There's one chief in each tribe, and they're one of ones.
Awesome. So those are or will those be all four of the ones in the lore? Like Rogar, Crushing Ocean, Teresa, and Hollow, like those ones?
Well remembered. I love that.
Oh yeah, I've been practicing that one.
That's the one. That's what I mean. Like the lore, when we wrote it, all of the Gophers in there were real Gophers. We do try and tie everything together. So yeah, the four that you said, they're the chiefs.
Okay, awesome. So, and then obviously it scales down from there. So 7 shamans, 10 elders, and then 82 of the rest are tribe folk. One thing I wanted to ask about, when I know there's different bonus, right? You get 6 extra reward multiplier on top of things. Will this interact in a way, because if you have a set 60% split, will you receive actually less than 60% if you hold just a tribe folk versus one of the higher up ones, or how does that balance work? A little bit.
No, it works the same as our current Gophers.
Okay.
So there's a base coming from mining. A chief will get 6 times what the tribe folk gets.
Okay. All right. Awesome. And then same thing. Obviously, this shaman's the one that's got me interested because it's got an undiscovered power over here. I don't know what that means, but I like the mystery of it. And then the other thing too is the votes here. Are these similar to the votes in the Juniper room? Same as the regular Gophers?
Yeah, so it'll be an on-chain vote about things regarding tribes. So one that comes to mind is with the compounding. So after we get through that initial 3-month compounding, tribes will have flexible compounding. So holders will actually vote, do we want to compound a lot this quarter? Do we want to compound just a little bit, or maybe none at all? And I think that's much better to be flexible like that, because in a bull run, you don't really want to buy miners. You want to take the coins that you have. Whereas in a bear market, you want to buy a lot of miners. So it just allows for both approaches.
Okay. So yeah, you'll actually, like you said, depending on what the market's doing, these votes, you guys will able to collectively as a group of the 400 can go ahead and choose the path or the fate of what you guys do.
Yeah, exactly. And also which miners we get, because we're going to be buying more miners for tribes. Do we want Bitcoin? Do we want more Doge? Do we want Cardano? So just to get everyone involved.
Awesome. I love that right there. And then another common thing, I know we talked about mint availability and things like this. Crypto Bot Boy said, is the Gophers 1-to-1 Gophers to tribe, or if you hold several Gophers, you can only mint one?
So we are expecting quite high demand for this, and there's only 400. So we have a reservation system, which is a bit different to a normal mint. But essentially, you'll go to Kingdom Connect. The first 24 hours will be holder only. So it's not one per Gopher. It's one tribe per wallet with Gophers. Then after 24 hours, it becomes public, and you can mint one like.
Got it. Okay. So holders get basically one per wallet, and for the first 24 hours, and after that, it opens up to the public.
Exactly. And I just forgot to answer that other question. They said about the tribe royalties. Yes, some will go to merchants and royals, but I can't say more than that. It's another mysterious part of it.
Okay. Oh, I love that right here. And then another thing, Tom, if you had anything either, you can jump right in. I wanted to talk too about this next part right here, which is like this religion.
Before you jump too much into that, I just want to say, I mean, I'm curious to see how this goes, because obviously that is a higher asking price, especially for what we normally see in just NFTs in general. But with the quality of the art, what you're actually promising, the transparency of where that money's going, and also just the understanding of what you're getting back for that, it'll be real interesting. I've been liking this a lot. We keep, you know, even though now we're on our third year doing the podcast, it's fun to still see or see new things that we're not really sure how it's going to go. You know, we just had like the Omens mint, and we're kind of looking at it like this is a 10K collection with a 150 asking price. I don't think it's going to sell out in this market right now. And sure enough, they sell out, you know, very quickly in terms of where we're at with the market. So I'd be curious to see where this goes as far as in relation to getting to public sale and things like that. It'll be very interesting to watch. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I agree. It is interesting, and it's something new. It's kind of like a premium mining NFT, which we've never seen. And obviously, we're in this space. We know all the mining NFTs, but I definitely think there's a real demand for real-world utility. Like we saw the Dirt Birds Outpost mint. It was the first big mint for a long time. I didn't really know how it was going to go, and then it sold out within 4 hours.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that one too. We were kind of a little like we get a little hesitant because we were making so many calls. We were seeing so many things just sell out instantly that when it came to like the Dirt Birds and, you know, we're in a bear market, it's like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised it didn't sell out for a couple weeks or just kind of sat there, and, you know, they're not even trying to sell out right away. And then sure enough, they go live and it's like, oh, they're all gone. I didn't even make it for the mint. I thought I had like a day here to get in at least at minimum, let alone 5 hours. Yeah, exactly. So seeing this is always very fun because you know, we kind of sometimes it's hard to remember the context. We used to say it so often how early we are, and then now we've kind of been around, and, you know, things have slowed down somewhat significantly, or it did for a time with the low price of ADA, and people kind of just losing a little bit of the excitement, I think, or some of the magic, because, you know, early on they were just minting everything, flipping everything, and kind of got in that pattern. But it's always fun when it's actually something new like this to see kind of how our community responds, because they teach me and show me new things all the time. And this will be a big one.
Yeah. And I want to say too to that is that, I mean, I think you see a lot of the ones that sold out recently, especially when we thought maybe those are a bit too big of a collection or not, are from established teams with established communities inside the space. When you look at Derps, when you look at something even like an Omen with Nemo and those guys have been around for years inside the space, it wasn't like they were some brand new project popping up out of nowhere. You guys have put the time in, you guys have shown that you guys could be successful here. And I think people are more willing to back that up than just blindly jump into stuff sometimes. So I definitely think it's something that you need to do your own research on, not just jump in. I mean, $1,500 is a decent amount of money just to throw up. If you guys, you know, you got that, then you got that. But I definitely think it's just something where you want to do the math yourself. I know you can't answer exact stuff over here, Ryan, and I mean, I'm sure most people have this question over here about there's Blue Collar Crypto says, I'm strongly considering purchasing the Tribe Gopher. I know the ROI is really tough to gauge, but is there a kind of estimate on how much we can expect? Is one tribe comparable to X number of Gophers?
Not really. I can't really answer that sort of stuff, but I would just say it's a huge amount of hash rate because of the scale order. We're ordering so many miners that the price per miner is very low, and that's getting fractionalized down to only 400 NFTs, not 9,000 as in Gophers.
Right.
And also the focus is bigger rewards faster. So within 3 months, you'll start accumulating and 60% goes directly to the holder. So without saying anything, in the bull run, the ROI will be quite good. And Gophers as well, that will be good eventually. It's just longer term because there's lots of different things feeding into Gophers.
Yeah.
So yeah, both are good. It just depends on which product you have appetite for.
Ryan, if I'm gonna buy one, you need to give me an exact price prediction for Bitcoin in a year from now, as well as all the other coins. I'm gonna need perfect predictions on all of them, so I know exactly how much I'll get back from my money.
I wish
that is
I
a tough
knew.
question. I can imagine you get that plenty. That is very difficult.
You know-
kind of like, well, it's not entirely up to us. I mean, we have, where's the market going? There's so many different coins involved. The miners themselves, it's a lot of variables that are happening.
Yeah,
all at once.
definitely. Well, to give my
it's
opinion,
tough.
and this is opinion, not financial advice.
Nafafa, we call it. Yeah. Not fun advice.
We're in the mining industry. We go to a lot of conferences. With a halving, normally it is painful before, during, and after, but then after a while, it gets very, very bullish. So I think maybe that's what's going to happen again. A lot of people in the mining industry are saying a 100k Bitcoin January 2025, but I don't know. There's just so many factors, macro factors, just all the things going on in the world, economics. There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing you could do if you can't guess the price yourself, Ryan, you can ask people the oracles over there. You can give them a price prediction. Let them try to gauge where that may go over there, which is a fun mechanic you guys have, right?
Yeah, they're predicting it right now, actually. So for those that don't know, oracles part of the Kingdom Gophers. They have the abilities to submit guesses. So the current one is, we said, what will be the price of Bitcoin on January 31st? They all got their predictions in, and then the closest 3 get a 33 times payout.
I love that.
No,
and that's just part of that fun gamification, right?
Mhm.
I love seeing stuff like that.
And just like, I don't know if everyone, because they have the different original mint, they have the different roles, almost like professions. I guess what we kind of originally similarly not utilized in the same way, but just a project that also has kind of something similar is like Ape Society or something along those lines.
Right.
But in this case, it affects what you're able to do in the community differently. And those are the oracles. Yeah.
And another thing too, if you guys are looking at price, and those are kind of something over there. If you guys own a Gopher already, you guys can go ahead and check out their Kingdom Connect dashboard, which you showed off a little bit earlier. This shows everything to date, right, that you guys have brought in, and then this is the current. Is this current right now? The net income for where you guys are at?
Yeah, that's current holdings.
Right. So I mean, you guys do the math backwards, right, a little bit, and I'm sure you guys can figure out some stuff. I know there's also some great spreadsheets and stuff inside the community that people have posted over in Discord and things. So very interesting. That's also a great stat right there, is that 89% of Gophers are burrowed right now, which shows the strong diamond hand kind of conviction that people have in this project. So really, really cool stuff. One of the things too, before we go into the last part of the lore, when we talk about rewards for these tribe Gophers here, are these rewards being paid out in this current coins that they're being mined with, or are they going to be paid out in ADA? What is the payout going to be in for the tribe, or is it similar to what the Goofy Gophers are?
Yes, same as Goofy Gophers. It will be ADA.
Okay, so everything at a certain end of this the burrowing period there, you'll be able to claim ADA rewards from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. And just the last, I know this question's been answered in your guys' stuff before. Do you guys sell off the different tokens in order to accumulate that ADA, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we mine coins on a monthly on a by-minute basis. Then each month we have electricity as the main expense. We sell coins for that electric. Then from the net, 40% goes for the holder distribution. And then, so we'll get all those coins, sell them, and exchange them to ADA, and then put it into our system to distribute. Awesome.
Okay. And like I said, it's super detailed. If you guys have not read through their stuff yet, definitely give that a read. One of the last things too, which I thought was interesting with tribes over here, is this religion system over here, where you can basically spread your influence throughout each quarter of these with these 4 different tribes. Basically different factors that are the secondary market activity, the burrowed percentage, performance of the tribe's crypto boon, and the existing religion in neighboring towns. And if this all has an impact by, it says 30% reward boost depending at the end of the quarter. Can you give a little backstory into this? Because this is an interesting concept too.
Yeah, we're very, very excited for the religion system. It's some of the deepest utility gamification we've seen anywhere. And again, this applies whether or not you mint tribes. So what it is we have those 4 tribes. Each tribe has a certain religion. And in the lore, these tribal gophers eventually settle in the kingdom. So as it says there, that the religions also start to spread. So this will be shown visually in real time. And it will be essentially an algorithm of each tribe's religion spreading. So it will be based on that tribe's activity on secondary market, the percentage of that tribe's burrowing. So let's say the trenchers, the water tribe, they're 100% burrowed in a given day, whereas the pyro, the fire tribe, they're like 10% burrowed. The water tribe will spread faster. And then also each tribe, they have a religion. They also have a crypto boon. So the crypto boon is totally separate to mining or anything. It's just a coin that the tribe essentially likes. So let's say the Deep Dark, their boon is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin outperforms the other tribes, their religion has more chance of spreading. And then also, once religion's also established in a few towns, if it's touching another town, it's more likely to spread. So it's quite a deep algorithm, and it will be shown visually, which we're very excited about. As you can see, a little teaser there.
I love that.
I love that right here too. So it's cool to see this little world kind of come to life here. And this is what makes this fun, right? Like you said, there's so much, and I think it's one thing we gave Derpers big praise with on why Outpost did as well as they did, because they brought their lore and their their characters into that mint. And you guys are doing all that and more with this upcoming one here. And I'm sure you guys, like you said, after you minted, you're like, oh, we have so many cool ideas. And now here you are getting a chance to do it with tribes. I'm excited for this because I think the gamification part is really what makes Gophers fun.
Yeah, it's something we wanted to do a long time. We've really enjoyed delivering our roadmap as well as Kingdom Trust and Town Crier and things like that. But we always want to expand the world and just do more things. And this really allows us to do it. And the religion's quite cool because at the end of a quarter, once everything's said and done, let's say the Pyro religion is dominant, all of the Pyro tribe now get a 30% boost. So if you have tribe folk, just the normal rank, it now gets a 1.3 times boost. Equally, in the Gopher Kingdom, all of the current Gophers have a location in their metadata. If you're in a location where that Pyro religion was spread, you'll get a boost coming from the tribes.
Interesting.
I love that. How deep you've thought this through, how deep it goes. That's
so
makes me that more excited.
I didn't know that. So it actually impacts the original collection as well, depending on the location. That's
and
really
just
cool.
the way of like this idea of spreading the religion and the story built into it, seeing those traditional things that we're used to seeing in NFTs. I just like how you continue to bring that element into it instead of just being like, yeah, we got the miners going. Here's your return back. Shut up. You know what I mean? You make it so people can really get connected, so they stay involved, so they stay paying attention, which I love. And it's also very important, I think, too, to just the overall success and continuing that into the future where people are like, oh, yeah, I remember mining those. They're in my wallet. I never did anything for 3 years. This way you keep people involved and having fun. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we want to get as many people into mining as we can, and then we want to make it a very fun experience. And it really is, there's no other way to get into mining that has like religion spread. So we think it's a lot of fun. It's not always grisly ROIs. We play a lot into the NFT culture as well.
Yeah, I love that. And it says here that this system will be basically done in an interactive format that's going to be built during the time of compounding for this tribe. So is it safe to assume that you guys will have this out within like the next 6 months to be able to see something like this?
Yes, sooner than that. It will be 3 months from when the miners come online.
Awesome. That's very cool. I think that, like we said, it's one thing to have the NFTs and that you kind of they're way in the wallet right now burrowing. It's another thing when you kind of bring that map online and start to, like you said, even just referencing Outpost again, just something to kind of look at and visually see, which is super interesting. And so will this be like a separate platform, kind of like maybe how Gold Rush is, like its own website that you guys will be brought to go ahead and see this?
Still thinking about it, but it will probably just be on Kingdom Connect. Okay.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Keep everybody in one spot. Yeah. Awesome stuff there. And yeah, I love the absolute the way you've kind of really gone into the gamification and that lore. I encourage everybody. I don't know who does your lore work for that, but you guys are super creative with that. It was actually pretty interesting to go ahead and read. There's also some special characters in that lore that will those be making an appearance at all in the 400 that are going to be minted? I think you got Embryana is one of them, and then which we see her theme song up here. If you can play that. Will she be making her way in this collection, or is that to be found out?
Yeah, thank you for that. I actually wrote all the lore, which was a lot of fun. It was really, really good. Yeah, all of the characters in there are actual tribal Gophers in the collection.
Awesome. I love that right there. So that's going to be interesting because there's some cool Gophers. I can imagine probably some of them. You have the 4 chiefs, but then some shaman and some other things out there are going to... like I said, you hold one of those lore Gophers, it's definitely a little game changer, a little status inside the kingdom there. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, and it mentions some kingdom Gophers as well, like a thief and a warrior. They're all actually in the collection as well.
I did read that, like Glenn, the thief, yeah, and Kale and all. So a bunch of them. I've reading through it all. But yeah, no, it's really cool, man. Just big shout out to you. So yeah, if you guys have any last minute questions here as we get ready to wrap this up, for Ryan, go ahead and drop them over in the chat. But TLDR, if you guys missed out over here, Tribes minting next week on a 26 at 6 p.m. UTC. Mint price is $1,500 US or equivalent in ADA value at that time of snapshot. And it's Gopher holders will get 1 mint for the first 24 hours. And after that, it opens up to the public, correct?
All correct. Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Well, there it is. Ryan, before we let you go, what's the one thing that you're really looking forward to with this Tribesman upcoming? Like, what gets you really excited about what you guys are getting ready to release?
Yeah, there's a few things. I really like having 3 distinct tiers, all different products, all different entries to mining. I really like the timing of it, how we're able to couple it with Kingdom Trust Batch 2, buying a lot of the newest miners that are brand new on the market just before the halving, to the mining side of it. But I would say I'm most excited about the religion algorithm and seeing that spread around the kingdom. I think it's going to be really exciting.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I love that you guys are able to get this this order off. Do you have a set cutoff date for the order that needs to get placed?
Yeah, well, it depends on some of our biggest clients, their mints, but it's looking mid to late February. Okay,
all right, so not too far from now. So we'll definitely go ahead and be before the halving, obviously.
Yeah,
awesome. And shout out to TJ over here who's just jumping in. He might be on the car ride right now, but he's over in chat right now.
Driving up to Legoland right now. They got a little family Saturday.
But if you guys enjoyed, TJ with the plugs always, go ahead and smash that like button if you guys have been enjoying the show. If you guys are new here, you can feel free to hit that subscribe button. We're here every Monday night and Friday doing a podcast, and sometimes Saturdays on these surprise streams over here. Man, Brian, it's so good to catch up with you. I'm glad we snuck this in here.
Yeah, I'm really happy you guys were able to do it early in the morning as well. And I just remember how good our last interview was, so it's been a delight to do it again.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Beautiful.
I just remember the first time when you came on, we were just so impressed with wow, man, you guys have your stuff together. You're super knowledgeable, and it showed when the professionalism that you guys carry inside this space, man. And it really goes a long way.
Yeah, thank you very much. And the same for you guys. I think you were one of the best interviews we did out of a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We always try, definitely. That's the goal. So like to come together when it all works out like this. So this is nice. So we got a lot to get excited here for the new year. I'm loving this.
Yeah. So Tom, you said your favorite tribe's probably Deep Dark. What's your favorite, Tommy? What are you hoping for?
Ooh, so let me pull these up real quick. Give everybody one more look at these things. I think I like the boons. I don't know if those have an impact on me yet. You said that those so the boon itself doesn't impact what coins or anything anybody mines. It's just a matter of what does better in that quarter as far as between those 4 different coins.
Yeah, so it impacts the religion. So you can see the botanist, they have a Litecoin boon. So if Litecoin outperforms those other boons, your religion's more likely to spread. So you're more likely to get that 30% boost as a tribe.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I'm more akin to I actually like the way the botanists look quite a bit. But I think I might be in that deep dark kind of thing as well. I just like how like they're all underground. They don't know what's going on up there. They don't care. They're like all mutated looking, and it's fun, man. But so real quick on that last question, because Blue Collar had one more for this. He said, if I have a tribe, can I put my Gophers in my tribe's specific location?
No, it's in the metadata, so they already have a location.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, whatever your Gophers are, that will they know where those religions kind of are set up, or that will all get established once tribes come online?
Yeah, they will be established. Yes.
Okay. Ryan, reverse question back to you over here. What is your favorite of the 4 tribes?
There we go.
Oh. I don't know. I do agree that the Deep Dark are really cool because they're just so unique. They're mutated. They've been under there a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like all of them, but I would say, yeah, maybe the Deep Dark.
Yeah. Yeah, those look like a favorite of mine. Although I wouldn't mind. The Pyros are pretty cool. Those look like they're just the war. Like you said, between the botanists and the Pyros over there, the ones that go to war. Those look like fun. I'm always partial to green stuff as well, so maybe I like the botanists over there. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I like the synergy between the botanist and the trenches, how they're working together against the Pyros.
Yeah.
And then from a backstory perspective, I probably like the Pyros the best because they're like these warmongers, but actually there's a reason behind it in the lore, and they still welcome the Kingdom Gophers to their land. They have that feast, and all the food is like ash. I don't know. There's a good personality, the Pyros.
Yeah. So much fun. Yeah. If you guys have not checked it out, go ahead and go to ggmc.io and go read through some of this stuff. But Ryan, it's been a pleasure to have you on over here, and appreciate you stopping by on this Saturday to go ahead and hang out with us and answer some questions. It's been good to catch up, and we'll definitely have to do this again once everything else goes back online, especially as we see that new map and everything come up. But I think, I don't know, I feel like you got me sold. I feel like I might need to move some data around next week and jump into this. So if my whitelist, if my Gopher is burrowed, it will still recognize that our wallet is whitelisted?
It will, yes. First 24 hours.
Okay, awesome. And then after that, is it unlimited mint, like as far as the wallet goes, once it opens to public, or is it still 1 per wallet, even in public sale?
Well, we'll gauge what the demand is like.
Right. Right.
Okay. Yeah, probably unlimited.
Okay. If maybe it won't even make it there, we don't know. We'll see.
That's what I'm worried about, Tommy. I'm like, come on, he's got to make it. I got to get one of these. Come on.
Yeah. But no, we appreciate you showing up, answering some questions, clarifying some stuff for maybe some people who weren't too sure. And we're excited because at the end of the day, this boosts the Gopher ecosystem in general. So happy to see that you guys have something new, and you can tell that you guys put a lot of work into this. So appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to come on. You guys got up early and everything. And yeah, I'd say whether or not you mint tribes, it's adding a lot of hash rate to the ecosystem. It's adding further gamification that wasn't there before. So yeah, it's all positive stuff.
Awesome. Well, again, we appreciate everybody showing up today. Appreciate everybody in chat, everybody who asked questions. Again, we're Freedom 35ers. If you guys can, make sure to go down, hit that like button, and consider subscribing if you guys enjoy the content. We'll be here Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and next Thursday, actually, I think we have game night. We're jumping over, so it should be a fun week upcoming here for us. So we'll catch you guys on Monday night. Ryan, as always, appreciate you jumping on, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.